cook dinner, we would drink Jaeger and watch Jerry Springer and then do that all over again the next day.
Wow.
Like that was just normal for us.
Let's be honest about recovery.
The rewards, the challenges.
Let's talk about our failures.
We are flawed people, after all.
Let's challenge the stigmas that weigh us down.
Because while most of us are looked at,
Few of us are seen.
Let's talk about addiction.
And how Christ overcomes our weaknesses.
Because we are loved.
because we are loved.
Because we are loved.
We are loved.
We are
Because
loved.
we are loved.
Hi, I'm Amber Blackmon. This is my husband, Blake Blackmon. I grew up in a drug-filled household from the age of around 11.
And I grew up in a household where both my parents was drug addicts from a very early age up till my early 20s.
Went to rehab in 2022, and that's where I found the Lord.
And I went to rehab also in 2022, and after graduating, I actually fell back off. Me and my wife both stayed in addiction for another year and a half. After that, we actually found the Lord again, and it's been a beautiful but stressful climb back up.
Hey there, and welcome back to Jesus Loves Addicts. Today we're going to be speaking to a married couple, Blake and Amber Blackmon. You may remember a while back we have actually had the privilege of hearing from Blake's sister, Kristen, and his mama, Star. And so today we're going to hear their story, and they're going to tell us how they got to where they are. One thing I really love about their story is that it is perfectly imperfect, and they don't mind sharing that their recovery has not been all roses. So thank y'all both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Perfectly imperfect. What a great description of the bumpy ride into
Yes.
recovery, right? But one of the things I know I'm gonna flip the script here.
Okay.
We won't stay here, but I noticed in your introduction that you both went to treatment in 2022.
Yes.
So just as a foreshadowing, we're not going to start there, but did you guys meet in treatment? Is that how you met, or did you know each other prior? Or?
No. Our parents were actually best friends, and she was really good friends with my mom as well.
Okay.
And they all cleaned condos together and stuff like that.
Okay, so you knew each other?
We did.
Then I got you. Okay, well, good. So as a segue, then the other similarity in your stories is that we heard in the introduction is you both raised kind of in chaos.
Yeah.
So, women first. Tell us a little bit about your story coming up and what that meant.
Well, the easiest way to put it, our normal routine was my mom, my dad, my brother, and I. A regular day for us would be getting up, going to the drug dealer's house, getting drugs.
How old were you when like your earliest memory of what that chaos looked like, Amber?
Well, I tore all the ligaments, tendons, and muscles in my ankle at a cheerleading competition. And so that's whenever I started taking, a lot of Lortabs and Roxys. And
Well, that's when you started taking it. But how early do you remember being drugged by your parents to these dealers' houses? And
probably as like 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't just, I'm not justifying it or anything like that, but it was like, their friends would have kids our age. And so, they'd go over there and they'd smoke their weed, do their coke or whatever they would do. And we'd be in the backyard playing with the kids, so it wasn't like they was just pulling up to the drug house and where I wouldn't think that it would be that dangerous compared to that. But
Well, and if it's your normal, you don't know that there's anything wrong with
that
it.
was my normal. We didn't. And then so after.
So it was around age 9. Is that when you became aware of your parents' use?
Yes, sir.
It had been going on prior.
It had been going on for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, going to certain people's friends' houses. Now I look back at it and I'm like, I know what y'all were doing.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, now it makes sense. So, and then, so we get up in the mornings, we go to the drug dealer or whoever's house. We'd all go and get high at work, which my family owned a tugboat company. So we was always working at the docks and stuff like that. And, throughout the day, we'd be getting high and working. Yeah, going to scrap yards and stuff, really. And come home We'll go by the drug dealer's house. Come
This
home.
is with your parents still.
Right.
Okay.
That was like, I guess, like our family time in a crazy sense. I don't.
Well, like all using together?
You and your brother were using with your mom? Okay. All right.
So this is post 11 years old now.
Yeah. This is like 14-ish, 15.
So, this is like a family outing. You guys go, you buy the drugs, you're all doing that together.
We'd come home, Mom would cook dinner, we would drink Jaeger and watch Jerry Springer, and then do that all over again the next day.
Wow.
Like that was just normal for us.
Were they, you mentioned the Jaegers. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how permissive this was. Were they only permissive of the alcohol, or you guys were also using drugs with them? I mean, was this just the whole, so you guys were really kind of just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a parental role in the house. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
What about school?
But we kind of knew our I knew my boundaries with my mom. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I could get away with and what I couldn't, and knew when to like actually respect her as a mom, you know, like hollering and screaming. We didn't do all that stuff, and you know.
Right.
You didn't. What did anger look like in the house?
Well, I'm more of the relaxed one.
Your brother.
My brother. He was the wild child.
Yeah.
But he was also, it got to a point where he was actually on fentanyl, and his rages were a lot worse and a lot more frequent. And my dad, he was also hot-headed. Me and my mom were the more relaxed, you know, didn't really let nothing bother us type. It was.
Were you relaxed, or were the other two, their expression of anger so intimidating that there was no room for yours? Like, is there...
No, it wasn't intimidating, because I would definitely show my butt too whenever.
So you could.
It took a lot more.
It took more.
But it wasn't intimidated. I didn't let little stuff bother me as much as they did.
So your parents, what did that marriage look like? And how old, your brother is how old or young?
3 years younger.
Okay.
I think for the most part, they just stayed together.
Yeah.
Because, well, from what I understand, my mom just she didn't know where to go, what to do.
She felt stuck.
That's just what we was always used to. And she, they finally got divorced about 4 years ago, something like that.
Oh, recent.
Mm-hmm. And they were together for 28 years.
They were separated?
Yeah, but they finally got the divorce 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Was their relationship volatile? Did that ever?
It was a disaster.
So lots of anger expressed there, like volatility, fighting.
Yeah, and a lot of it was about drugs.
Okay. And now, do you remember that prior to age 9, like seeing them fight?
Not really, because my dad was always out on the boat a lot.
So when do you remember that kind of becoming a mainstay in the home?
Probably when I was about 13.
All right. So these teen years, preteen, teen years are the transitional phase for you. Yeah.
Because there was, whenever I was younger, the tugboat company was doing really good. So we grew up, Mom had her Mercedes. Dad
Y'all didn't go without.
Right. And Dad had his show truck and his Corvette. They were doing really good. But then after my pawpaw got sick, you have to have 2 tugboat captains on the boats at all time. And my dad was the only one after my pawpaw couldn't do it no more. So the company didn't have no way to operate. And so it went to where there was times where we went 6 months with no power, no water.
Did you have family that stepped in? Is that how you guys got through those tough times?
No, we literally, there was a point in time where we took cold showers from the water, a water hose. Like, it got bad. But at this
time, the whole family was using already at this time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
What did school look like for you? You said briefly, so I know you cheered briefly at some point, but
that was on a competition squad. It wasn't with school, but that happened in my 9th grade year, and I was out a lot because of my ankle, because it was in a straight cast for like a year, so I couldn't get around very good, and but then once I got so used to not going to school and being messed up all the time on painkillers, it kind of, if I didn't want to go to school, I'm like, Mom, my ankle's hurting, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. It's okay, baby. It's okay. So it's.
Yeah.
That's just how that happened. So I didn't finish school. Okay. But I did get my GED.
Hey, that's awesome.
So it sounds like, if I were to guess, you would describe your parents as loving, but just not parental. There wasn't really a...
It's not that they wouldn't be parent. I think if it wasn't for the drugs,
it would have been different.
It would have been a lot different. Now, there's not a doubt in my mind that my mom and nor my dad would not go to the end of the world with us. And, you know, my mom's thing was, whenever we was younger, I don't care what you did. You know, I'll go to bat for you. Just don't lie to me. She's like, if you tell me you took a right and you took a left, that's lying to me, and I'm not going to have your back. And so she, I guess, enabled it a lot. But we also enabled it for her, too.
Right.
You know, it was like...
Yeah.
Well, and that is it. It becomes like a cycle. If you're in that household, y'all are friends, but it's this... loyalty.
And it wasn't always chaos, you know. We had a lot of good times.
I don't doubt that.
And, you know, some people are like, oh, I had a bad childhood. And in a sense, I did too. You know,
that isn't what
but
you
I wouldn't
remember.
have changed it, because it was always us four. You know, yeah, we was fighting. We had our fights and everything, but we still tried to make the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade none of that for nothing.
Without those experiences, you wouldn't. It shapes who you become later.
Right.
Well, and that's a very gracious recall, right? And I appreciate that. But it's interesting, because even the good times, as you put it, and again, I don't mean to be speaking for you, but I mean, from what you're describing, even those good times were steeped in dysfunction.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's not functional good times,
if you looked up dysfunction in the dictionary, it had all four of our faces all over it.
Yeah. And maybe just equally as you know, bad as some of the stereotypical bad childhoods that we think of, because that kind of thing was normalized for you guys, right? And so it really fueled what's to come for you. Right? Okay. All right. So, Blake, you're in a similar background. Is that correct?
Yeah, similar. Well, kind of and kind of not. Mine, I had a good childhood, but a bad childhood.
Right.
You know, like growing up, at the beginning, my parents were great. When they were good, they were awesome. When they were bad, it was bad.
There was no in between with them.
Yeah, no, it was either on fire or ice cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like my dad coached us in sports. He'd get out in the yard with us, do all that. So I mean, I had an awesome father figure as far as a father-son. You know what I mean? But what I guess kind of hurt me in my childhood was the abusiveness between my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
You know, he was
abusive to her.
Yes, they both done drugs. You know, I found out later on, of course. And,
so you didn't know that your parents were doing drugs?
I had no idea.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was, we'd go to the them lake house or whatever like that, and they'd be up all night.
But you didn't know.
I mean, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I look back now and I'm like,
oh, now,
you know what I'm saying?
Now it makes sense.
But
they were nocturnal.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, that's mainly the things that hurt me the most was how they acted towards each other. And
so did you witness violence?
Oh yeah, I did.
In the home?
There was times that I actually would try to intervene, and you know, because I was a mama's boy, my little brother was a daddy's boy, and you didn't touch mama. You know what I mean?
Not my mom.
Yeah.
Of course, your ability to defend isn't really very good as a young.
Especially considering how big your dad is.
Yeah, my dad's a very large man.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", about 275.
Oh.
Yeah, he's huge.
And then his mama ain't but this tall.
Yeah, but now he didn't just downright beat her. You know what I mean? He didn't do so. And I because she wasn't no spring chicken either. I remember now they got in this little argument, and I see a frying pan go across the house.
She was feisty, is what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he'd throw her across the house, and she come running back. He'd throw her across the house, she come running back. So it wasn't nothing like it wasn't both ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do recall one night we was Dad was showering, Mom come in the kitchen crying, hysterical. Well, she reaches up on top of a little cover. There's a pistol. She grabs the.
How old were you?
I don't know, probably 12, probably something like that. Well, she goes running back in there, has a few choice words, slings the shower curtain open, points it at him. He's butt naked sitting there. Well, he grabs it from her before she could even realize it. You know what I mean? Then she comes running back. I mean, it was a comedy show and chaos at the same time, because it was, looking back now, some of the instances was funny, because I was saying, you got a 6'5" monster and a little 4'0" woman over here thinking she's bulletproof.
Yeah.
And
Well, let me ask you about that, because I think there's kind of a survival mode where you have to see the humor in it in retrospect. But was it funny when it was going on, or was it scary?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'd grab my brother, go to the room, try to, just so
you were the big brother.
Yeah, and then there was times, like I said, whenever I'd kind of step in and try to, and he wouldn't deliberately hit me, nothing like that, but there was times whenever I got pushed over or stuff like that, then he'd stop, he'd go back outside, whatever, go and try and cool down.
So their fighting technique, it didn't spill over to you.
No,
and your brother.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing like it. It was just between them two, but it was, I guess you could say I put myself in the bad situations, but.
Kind of like your mom went after him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like it.
Yeah.
What about your sister? So where is she? Like, you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest for my dad's kids.
Okay.
Kristen is with mom's previous husband, Randy.
Okay.
And, which you can ask Kristen, my dad pretty much raised her. Right. And, we didn't really see then, at that age, I didn't really see much of her. She was out the house and stuff like that. We'd see holidays, stuff like that. She'd come over every now and then. Or we go stay with her. But as far as into the mix with mom and dad stuff.
Just you and your brother?
Yeah, just me and my brother. As far as I can
remember.
Recollect.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, because I don't know how long. I know that the friendship has long been between your mother and your mother. Were they using together while y'all were kids?
No.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if that came later. They've known each other
for about 6 or 7 years, since right before COVID.
Well, how our parents met was through Michael, right?
Yeah.
And one of my dad's friends, whenever I was younger, his name was Michael. They, which a whole bunch of events took place. There wasn't a friendship there no more. And later on, Wendy and Michael is how they all met.
Okay. So you're growing up. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
What does that look like? If you didn't know that they were using, other than your home life, like what did you look like in school?
School, I was an AB student. I mean, I played football, played baseball, younger all-stars every year. I mean, like I was saying, my dad kept as far as, and my mom kept our lives as far as school and activities. We was very into both.
Okay.
I mean, they was both at every game. I mean, you could hear my mom over everybody cheering. I mean, she'd be the one hollering, "Go Blake," or "Go Cole," or she'd be cussing the ref out. One or the other.
It's interesting though, right? Because it's almost, I don't want to create a hierarchy of worse and less worse, but for lack of a better word, it's almost worse that existed, because it's hard to parse out for a child, right? On one hand, my dad is here for me doing all this stuff. On the other hand, he's beating my mom they're fighting. I mean,
they was highly functional addicts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like saying Dad worked for Benchmark for 25 years, 20 years, then ran his own company. He was very functional. Mom, was the stay-at-home housewife then, which she worked in the younger years of us, but she kept the house up. It stayed spotless. I mean, it was. Yeah. If you come, just anybody coming in, you're like.
It all looks normal. I'm kind of with you. It's like.
Oh yeah.
You expect, even like you growing up, like you expect, if the childhood home and all of that is chaotic and there's drugs involved or there's this, it's only going to look a certain way.
No,
but yours didn't. Your family dynamics didn't, and yours didn't. Like the house is clean. You're involved in school and sports and all the things.
We had over a house that appraised for $1 million. I mean, it was
everything was fine.
It was all wood. It was beautiful.
But it was broken.
Floors, land, boats, 4-wheelers, golf carts, nice vehicles. I mean, it did not look that way.
Right.
It did not look like both my parents was on drugs and heavily.
And you didn't know.
No, I had no idea.
Which kind of, it's interesting. I mean, not that a deterrent works very well anyway at that age, right? The kids need to experience, and I say that facetiously, you don't need to, but somehow we do. But
and see what through all of that, whenever my parents was going to split, it continually got worse and worse. And when they finally split up, my mom went to prison for manufacturing.
Okay, so how old were you when your mom got arrested?
14, 15.
So had they been manufacturing and selling for a while?
To your knowledge.
For what I know, whenever all that was transpiring, as far as the manufacturing and all that, that's whenever they mainly, split. And
they separated.
My dad took me and my brother out of, I was in middle school. I was in 8th grade I was in 9th grade, I'm sorry. I was in high school. And took me and my brother out of school, didn't tell us where we was going, nothing, just, hey, we're going to Mama and Papa's for a week or two. Well, we got halfway up there, and I could tell he's being quiet, and the truck was extra loaded down. I was like, we're not coming back, call me. And he was like, no, we're not.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize a major podcast sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by America's Thrift Stores, your go-to option for decluttering and giving back. If you have a closet bursting at the seams or a garage that's seen better days, we've got the perfect solution for you.
That's right. America's Thrift Stores makes it easy to clear out the clutter and make a positive impact in your community. Whether you're cleaning out your wardrobe, downsizing your living space, or just looking to give back, America's Thrift Stores has you covered.
And here's the best part. You've got options. Schedule a hassle-free home pickup, drop off your items at one of their convenient donation sites, or swing by an America's Thrift Store to donate in person. No matter which way you choose, you're making a difference.
Absolutely. Every donation you make to America's Thrift Stores directly benefits charities in your area, such as the Home of Grace and other fantastic organizations dedicated to helping those in need.
For example, donations made to America's Thrift Stores in southern Mississippi help the Home of Grace provide support and assistance to individuals facing drug and alcohol addiction. Your contributions make a real impact on their mission to provide freedom from addiction through Christ-centered recovery. So not only are you decluttering your life, but you're also helping build a stronger and more supportive community.
It's truly a double blessing. So what are you waiting for? Clean out that closet, clear out that garage, and make a positive difference in your community by donating to America's Thrift Stores.
Visit America's Thrift Stores online to schedule a home pickup, locate a donation site near you, or get directions to one of their store locations.
America's Thrift Stores, where giving back never goes out of style.
So did your mom go further down the addiction hole than your dad?
Yes. Whenever we moved up to my grandparents, my dad's mom and dad, he got clean. I mean, my dad, like I said, he's a big old man. He got down to 175 pounds.
Oh,
yeah. He was
while using.
So.
Yep. And that and the stress of everything, it didn't help.
So you're only in barely high school, in 9th grade. You're just in high school. Yep. You're involved in sports, and your grades are those are. I would be thrilled if I were making A's and B's. I would have been not on restriction. And then your dad shows up. Is this before or after your mom was arrested?
This was before. This was right before. And
so you didn't, he didn't explain where your mom was, anything? Your whole world shifted.
She was living in Loxley then, at a small place over there. And then, like I said, this was also...
They were separated.
Yes,
okay.
They were separated. And I didn't get to see much over then anyway, because how the court stuff was, or what
they were battling.
Had drawn up. Yeah, they were battling on it. And Dad had us.
Okay.
And Well, he took us up there, and then that's whenever later on, I guess that's when Mom got busted in Florida, and then she went to prison. And
what did that conversation look like when your dad explained? Like, I can't imagine as a kid who was a mama's boy.
Yeah. Well, I really can't even. I think I was just in shock, really. Like,
yeah.
You know, what's going on here? I mean, I know she's been in jail here or there, but she get right out. You know what I mean?
But she's going to prison.
Now she gone. You know what I'm saying?
How long?
They're saying that then they were saying like an 8-year sentence, but I think she ended up only serving like 3. And
did you see her while she was there?
I did once, and you know, and I guess this falls back on me that I done kind of wrong too, because I know later on after I went to jail, how much all them letters and writing and stuff and all that and talking means. I wasn't, as a kid, I wasn't much.
You were a kid.
Yeah, and so like she would write us. I never really wrote back. I think I did a couple times, you know what I mean? But I didn't know how bad.
Until you were in it.
Yeah, until I was older.
How important those letters are. But let me ask you, were you not writing just because you were a kid and distracted, or were you angry at your mom?
Nothing. I mean, football, baseball.
So it wasn't anger. It wasn't intentional. It was just, I got a life.
I was angry with my dad for taking us from everything.
Isn't that interesting?
You know what I mean? I mean, me and my dad had a kind of, like I said, he still made sure we had everything we need. I mean, I can't take away from a father.
Right.
He is the best father anybody could ever ask for.
Yeah.
But there was things growing up, like the abuse and then taking us from everything, which kind of
it caused a hurt.
You know what I mean? And like I didn't talk to him for a couple of weeks whenever we first went up there, and then but it always kind of left me with a bad anger problem. Like I had really bad anger issues, used to, and but then whenever I found out my mom went to prison, and that kind of, and there was a couple of little issues that I found out later on, which I don't really want to, you know what I mean?
That's fine.
But it fueled that anger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, big time.
Issues, you don't have to get specific. Issues between them, though?
Well, it's...
Or out, okay.
Kind of, a little bit. I don't really want
okay.
To, you know.
Okay. So it's interesting to me because we've heard this before in the tales, and it tends to happen where the anger gets directed at the healthier parent, right? The one. So in retrospect, and I'm just curious, in retrospect, do you still feel that was not a good move on your dad's part to pull you away from that, or do you see that as...
That was by far the best move he could have made.
Okay.
But, Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for me, as who I was as a kid then,
you were a
that
kid.
was the worst move you could have done.
Yeah.
And that was my mama.
But he was looking out for the best interest of me and my brother.
Long term.
Exactly.
He was
Got us
thinking
out of
about
Baldwin
it.
County, away from all the commotion, the drugs, this, that, and this.
Well, I would imagine when your mama was called, it also got you out of headlines.
What him and his parents called it God's country, you know what I mean, up in Lenox, Alabama.
Okay. So it was beautiful.
No, it is. It's just old backwoods, town of about 150, and I think I'm kin to 90 of them. You know what I mean? And but it's old school Pentecostal churches there, you know what I mean? And it was a lot better than Baldwin County. Let's just put it that way.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that in the midst of all this chaos, and maybe this is a question for both of you, was God in the mix in terms of the message you were getting from them, or was it not?
I never really grew up in a church. Now, I think when we was younger, my parents had us in church, but as time went on, I can never really remember. Like when I went to church, when I did, I went with either my grandparents up there in Lenox, or I went with friends to like little church events and stuff like that. But it wasn't a consistent Wednesday or Sunday type thing. You know what I mean?
But you knew the concept.
Oh yeah, I knew it, but we didn't really practice it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Amber?
My parents didn't really go to church. The times that I went to church whenever I was younger, my best friend Kristen, she lived 2 streets back, and her mom and her dad and they would take me to church with them on Sundays, Wednesdays.
On occasion, or pretty regularly?
Pretty regularly.
Okay.
So there was a knowledge of, but not a relationship with.
I didn't really understand.
Fair to say?
I was young, so I didn't really, I knew, but I didn't totally understand the whole, everything about it like I do now.
And at that level, some of it's just social, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're just hanging out. Okay. So at what age did you actually start your own use, Blake?
I started probably in about the 10th grade when I was still in high school playing sports, this and this. I actually started, I was real accident prone.
Accident prone?
Break bones, this and this, go to the doctor, get put on painkillers, whatever. And kind of I took a liking to Percocets and
the opiates.
Yeah. And my grandmother, my dad's mom, she's old school. She got them, but she wouldn't take them. She didn't care how bad she was hurting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you helped her out.
She'd have bottles and bottles sitting in the cabinet that she'd leave for my uncles or my dad or whoever if they needed them. You know what I mean?
Well, and you said it right when you said old school. That is how a lot of people were. I never understood that.
My grandma literally told the doctor that she was allergic to it because it made her nose itch, and so
she thought she was
didn't
really
understand
allergic.
That was like a side effect of it. She's like, I
can't
sweating,
have it.
my nose is itching, I'm allergic to it, I can't take it.
Yeah.
So my grandma would have like big bottles of Lortabs just everywhere.
See?
But now this, I started drinking at a young age, probably 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? We'd go out, weekends, parties, me and the guys drink.
And I have a feeling like your parents, your dad, they probably knew you were drinking on the weekends, and it was no.
They knew it, but they didn't. You know what I mean? Like they didn't catch me until probably about my junior year, whenever my absolute care button just went out the window, and my brother was the damn sneaky one. He'd sneak out windows, whatever. He'd never get caught doing anything. Me, I come in the front door sideways. You know what I mean? It just...
Yours was a little harder to hide.
Yeah, well, no, I just didn't care to hide it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are y'all going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? And then, he'd beat my butt until I couldn't walk.
Do you think any of that, like that, what are you going to do, kind of went back towards that anger that you really hadn't dealt with yet?
It
It's like,
really was.
What?
It had a resentment, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't care what you tell me or what you say.
Right. And he probably knew that.
Oh, yeah. And but back to whenever my grandmother's pills, I started taking some here and there, some here and there. I was selling them at school, plus, taking. I mean, I was freshman and sophomore in high school with a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
All the time. And, it just finally, I guess, whenever I finally stopped taking pills, because I kind of went straight there and then just alcohol. My junior year, probably about quarter way through, I was just like, I really need to.
This is a problem.
Really need to stop. And for about 2 weeks, that was the worst 2 weeks of my life, coming off of the painkillers.
So you were physically addicted by then?
Oh yeah, I was taking them for a while, pretty steady, but we just. Acted like I pretty much acted like I had the flu. You know what I mean?
A really long flu.
Yeah. And I was out of school for 2 weeks and then went on back after I was good and then just carried on. And I didn't start using drugs again till probably I was 21, I think.
Was the drinking a constant, though?
Oh, yeah, drinking was steady.
You always had something.
I mean, after I graduated high school, I would get off work and drink an 18-pack almost every day. I mean, that went on for a couple of years.
Yeah. So pretty good tolerance at a young age.
Oh, yeah, very young age. I was partying every weekend, if not every night. I'd get off work, go to the bar till 1, 2, 3
Where were you living then?
At 17, I actually moved out of I was just about to turn 18. I moved out of my dad's and moved in with my ex-girlfriend at the time, Faith.
Okay.
And I was with her for probably 8 years. Okay. And but I started living with them, and then which they didn't. Now they were a very church-going family, and so I guess you say I started going to church again with them.
Okay.
And kind of got involved with a lot of the church functions and stuff like that. But then that kind of started fading after the drinking became even more of a problem.
Was she also using anything or drinking or no?
No, I was saying she didn't drink, she didn't smoke, she didn't do anything. When I say I put the girl through living hell, I did.
Yeah.
She was going to rescue you, though.
Yeah, she thought she was.
Right.
Yeah. She was we're going to save them.
I thought so. But it just, that progressed on for a while, and then I started using, probably a couple years into that, nobody knew it. I started using cocaine, and that was probably around the age of 23.
Okay.
And I just
still holding this job.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I was just like my dad. I was a highly functional addict as well. I mean, I went to work every day.
Well, and I was going to say, with like listening to your background and your grandparents, your dad, even using, it doesn't seem like it's not surprising to me that a work ethic was still was there. It's you go to work if you're sick, you go to work no matter what. And so I don't know that would it have even occurred to you to not work?
Well, later on, whenever I started, I guess when I say I graduated from cocaine and went to ice, graduated from the normal use of smoking it, snorting it, and whatever, and I started shooting up. That was meth.
Okay.
Yes, and then that's whenever.
How did we get from
the bottom fell out?
Cocaine and hiding it and no one knowing?
Well, see, I done meth probably for about 8 or 9 years total.
Okay.
And now people say that they knew it, but they didn't know it. Like Cole, my brother, he tried to say, "Oh yeah, I knew it the whole time." No, you didn't.
No, you didn't, because they would have said something.
In reality, they probably knew.
They would have said
but
something.
They probably knew something. They may not have known
something
that it was
off.
right. Because typically we don't hide it as well.
Like a lot of them knew that I did like dabbling Adderalls, like I like taking Adderall and stuff like that. And
they didn't know the extent of what you were doing.
Right.
They didn't know that it wasn't doctor prescribed Adderalls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and but whenever I got married to my first wife, and I think it was 2018. What year was that?
2018.
2018? Mm-hmm. 2018, yeah. That's in the past, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Amen for wives.
I'm just trying to help you with your dates. I'm not mad about nothing. Just as long as you remember 2022.
Hey, that's every password. But I got married to a girl named Sarah. We was kind of high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And she was a cheerleader. I was a football player. And but we got married for the wrong reasons. It was just because I got her pregnant, pretty much. You know what I mean? Which I kind of have that little old school belief. If you get her pregnant,
you have to get married.
You gonna be there. You know what I mean? So we did, and now for the first little while, it was great. You know what I mean? And probably when my first son, named Rhett, after he turned 1 is whenever it kind of started falling off.
Yeah.
We lived a very expensive lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was, we had a nice home, nice vehicles. My kids wore polo. You know, she had Louis Vuitton bags, you know what I mean? I wore polo, whatever. And so I had to stay working on the road. And that started taking a big, big toll on my family. You know what I mean? When you're not there and you only come in for 3 days, 4 days, and you're gone for another 3-4 months, she's home taking care of the kid herself.
You had kind of a built-in way to hide your addiction, though, didn't you? Yeah, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Bye.
And when you work in the construction industry, about 90% of the people that's out there anyway
are high.
Yeah. And
from what I understand, it's like not a big deal just to say, hey, well, what do you have?
There was one job that we worked, and they was literally selling it out of the tool room.
That is just insane. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just an abundance.
So you're working on the road.
Yep.
You don't even see your children.
I was there whenever he was born. I was there for 2 days and then had to leave again.
Do you not feel like you miss so much?
Oh, I did. I missed a lot. Well, see, whenever she finally was like, hey, you got to come home. You know what I mean? So I did. And like I said, I'm still in addiction. I haven't started shooting then. I was just, doing the basics of use.
Did she know?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And then when I got home, I, to hide it, I wouldn't keep it in the house.
Right.
My kids, of course. So I made little hideaway compartments on my porch, carved out the wood, put it in there, put a little bit.
The things that we will do. I know.
I'm telling you. Like,
listen.
I got really elaborate with it.
Yeah.
But
we are the smartest people. In that moment, we think we are so smart. And then afterwards, you're like,
oh, yeah. But then I started.
Yes.
I started working like two or three jobs trying to
keep up with what you had been doing.
And then, well, that finally got to where it it was bad. Like I couldn't stand to be around her. She couldn't stand to be around me. And I went back off working again.
Well, in all honesty, y'all had never actually had to be together.
Oh yeah,
if you work
pretty much.
If you work on the road.
Yep. And and for the first part of our relationship, she lived in Tuscaloosa. She was a nurse there, and then, like I said, I traveled. So, for the first 6 months of our relationship, she lived there. I lived wherever, and then she got pregnant. I was like, "Yeah, I better get a house."
So really superficial relationship, part and parcel to addiction, right? We tend to get into very superficial relationships based on sex or attraction or infatuation.
And that's what it started out as.
Yeah.
It was kind of I never got to do what I wanted to in high school, so
yeah, here we are.
Let's go make it happen now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Yeah,
and
very addicted thinking,
It wasn't that we dated and we liked hanging out and doing this and doing that. We ain't seen each other 4 or 5 years, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then it just...
That was just self-gratification. Yeah, right. I got you.
And now, like I said, I don't take none of it back because I got 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rhett and Bo, and then...
God can use, beauty from ashes, right? So,
like we had started to almost split up, and then she got pregnant again with our second child, Bo. We tried to make it work for another year, and it just wasn't. No, it did not work.
Had you started shooting prior to the end of the marriage, or did this come after?
It's come after.
It comes after.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the meantime, and this is where the kicker of the whole story gets. I met Amber. Amber, like I was saying, she was friends with my mom and all that. Well, she ended up being my kid's babysitter.
Okay.
Yep. And it was either during Christmas or my kids loved her, absolutely adored her. And there wasn't nothing like that then. You know what I mean? It was just strictly, hey, here's you some money. You know what I mean? That's all it was. And then
like for watching his kids, not,
right.
Not like
we got just to clear that up.
And I want to say, we said when we started doing the podcast that we're not sugarcoating it. None of our stories are perfect, but the Lord can redeem everything.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to make that clear. It's like.
So you guys meet, you're babysitting, but you're also using at this time, right? Okay. Did you know that she was using? Did you guys know each other was using?
She was hanging out with my mom, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew that my mom had gotten clean for like 10 years. After she come home from prison, she went to the Home of Grace.
Okay.
I think it actually took her 3 times going.
Yeah.
But after the second time, she was clean for like 10 years.
Right.
For a while. And then she fell back off. Ooh. She didn't know that I knew it, but I was saying there was
there were signs.
The signs, you know what I mean?
On that, after getting your mom going to I never thought about that, but from a child's perspective, whether you're an adult or not, this is your mother that you adored no matter what.
Oh yeah.
She went to prison. She comes out. She gets clean and stays clean, and lives a sober lifestyle for 10 years. From your perspective, how did that feel when you noticed those signs again after 10 years? 10 years, I would think that you think that you're in the clear.
At that point in time, because I always said I'd never do that mess, because
it'll never be me.
Watch what happened to my mom. You know what I mean? Well, now I am.
You were doing the same exact thing.
And I noticed it and never said anything. I just was like, I get it.
Now you get it in a different way.
I mean, yeah, it's Superman and a little white powder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and it's fixing something that's broken.
Yep, exactly. And it just, where to leave off?
She's 10 years sober.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. She was 10 years sober, and this was around Thanksgiving or Christmas, and my truck actually got in the wreck. Falling asleep, going to work, done, been up for 10 days.
You needed a nap.
Just not
truck,
right then.
And, And, I called my wife at the time, Sarah, and asked if she could come get me. You know what I mean? So I could be home for the daggum holidays. She said no. So that really ticked me off.
And you were still struggling with some anger issues.
Yeah, and Well, I called Mom, asked if she could. She said, well, she couldn't. She didn't have, a way of going, really. Well, she asked Amber if Amber could come. Amber ain't really, I ain't even met Amber yet. You know what I'm saying? She met my wife then, Sarah, but I haven't met her yet, really. And she said, yeah, I will. Drove all the way out there, 17 hours, come and got me. And with, I guess you said the anger I had towards Sarah anyway. And I kind of made a couple moves and stuff happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Drive home. We then got home. Acted like nothing happened. Nothing else happened again, actually, for several months. Just kind of brushed it under the table, you know what I mean? And then...
well, when we're living like that, it becomes real easy. We're not doing anything. Right. Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's that one compromise becomes a lot more.
Yeah.
And then it picked up even worse after we started getting her to come around more often, you know what I mean? And then it just kind of got out of control.
Yeah.
Good things have been done.
Mm-hmm.
The
affair got out of control. Okay, it's taken over.
Like I was saying,
now they knew.
Good things have been told. If I should have done things a lot different. Now, would I change it now? No, I wouldn't. Because, I've got a woman who stands beside me over everything, loves me no matter what. Whenever in my last marriage, all I felt like was a wallet. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? There was no connection. There was no love.
Well, you said in the beginning that you don't know that.
Like, we didn't even have, for the last year and a half of our marriage, we didn't even have sex. It was just all connection was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I hope you're not, I don't hear you blaming your ex. It seems like this was just born out of the lifestyle you were in. It's nobody's fault other than
inflicted.
Yeah.
It's
just the
got
lifestyle.
Nothing to do with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of my choices, me staying gone, this, that, and this was.
Well, you were running
provoking.
From your own self, to be honest, and had been for a long time.
Yep. And I can't put any blame on her for how things went or anything like that. Now,
she's a great mom.
She is. I cannot take that from her. She is a beautiful mother. But now, as far as relationship-wise, at that point in time, no. Now, she is remarried now. I'm ecstatic for because he's probably the best stepdad I could ever have for
so you guys are cordial
my
now.
Kids. Well, no, I haven't seen my kids right now in about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a process.
Okay.
You know
it is a process, and I get that process.
But I couldn't be happier with who she found because of how he is towards my kids. You know,
see, and I respect and I appreciate that because even when you're saying it's still not perfect, I still haven't seen my children.
Oh, no.
But thank God that they do have a stepdad that loves them. That says something because you don't have to go that. You don't have to look at it like that. But that's help me words.
English words. Well, you were going to say something.
And like before we fell back into addiction, you saw the boys like twice, right? And then we fell back into addiction, and I totally understand. I wouldn't have it any other way for her not to let him or us be around him, but
sure.
It's just a work in progress. I know she's afraid that it's going to happen again. Any mother should be. But we just got to
one of the things I love already is how you guys take responsibility. It shows where you are in your recovery, right? You're not going,
And who y'all are as people, honestly. Like, it's not she. It's we did this.
Yeah. We messed up our lives ourselves, and we're trying to fix them ourselves.
Is a big component.
Nobody else done it. I did.
Yeah. So the affair is a big component to your marriage ending.
So
the affair then is a big component to your marriage ending.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
It was a huge because like I was saying she filled a void that I had for compassion and somebody who actually cared for me, and not from what I felt was, when's this bill going to be paid, or when's this next Amazon package coming, or this, that, and this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to say that's how she really felt, but I put
it's just
it in
what you
that
guys
position
created
to make her feel that way.
And
you know what I mean?
that is what y'all created.
Yeah.
And then I started putting all my attention towards
Amber.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not towards her. So, I'm not going, you know what I'm saying?
So I am curious then. So the marriage ends, this relationship is
Still go.
Going blossoming.
Yep.
Well,
how do you get into shooting? Because you said this is where the bottom falls out, right?
Y'all are using together now
at this point, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever she come and pick me up from Texas, last night I knew she was using because of my mom and stuff like that. Now, she didn't know I was. Okay. I was saying none of them knew I was. But when she got there, because she had a little incident on the way up there, I ain't going to get into all that with the police. She got out of, but I had hot rails laid out on a mat for us to do whenever she.
So you already knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I took a little bitty bag, like just enough to get me there and back, not knowing that he did it, And
you were trying to make sure that you had enough for your trip.
There, yeah. And I get pulled over.
That does make sense why you were fine with taking a 17-hour trip. Because I was like, that's a terrible idea. Don't ask me because I'm not coming.
I get pulled over and I hit it.
Okay.
And there was a hole in the bag. So I'm standing on the side of the road for 4 hours while they're searching the car, just getting higher and higher by the minute. And
with the cops there? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't,
You hit it bodily.
Yeah.
And because there's a hole in the bag, it's getting into your system. I gotcha.
I didn't think of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get there, I walk into the camper, and he's got big old hot rails laid out. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I didn't even have to bring my own because
she's calling me talking 90 to nothing with the cops.
You already knew.
And I knew right then, you know what I mean? So that's whenever our drug relationship started up then.
You're fortunate you didn't overdose, really.
Yes.
That could have been really a dangerous situation. So how did shooting this stuff come in then? Because you said that's where the bottom falls out for you.
Sarah took my kids from me. I went into a dark place. Went to a very dark place. I didn't care if I was here, if I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just
it felt hopeless.
Worse and worse. Yeah. And I actually, pretty much tricked her into giving me my first shot because I told her I've already done it, used to.
So you were already shooting?
Yeah.
I had been shooting up since I was 16.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you introduced him to the whole process.
But you didn't know you were.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on.
That was one thing, because I know what it did to my life. And so somebody came up to me saying, will you show me how to do it?
No, I won't.
Right.
But he tricked me.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
But I want to say this. I've heard other people say, while I may do this, I'm not going to be a part. I know I may, it's almost like,
you realize
this is my downfall. I'm not going to be a part of anybody.
Exactly.
It's a weird.
Later on, we had people who'd come up to me and her while we was at our house, and
you're like, nope.
I'm like, no, I'm not.
Absolutely not.
And
you're not going to do your first one anywhere around me.
That's a monkey you can't just get off.
No. The back. Well, because you feel like that's going to be your end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't feel like there's hope at the end of that tunnel.
But once I did finally start that, it was a sure enough a downhill slide from
for
there.
Both of y'all.
It also it shut down that pain level that I had for not having my kids, not this, not that, and it shut it off. You know what I'm saying? It
numbed you.
Yeah, you felt it.
And so at this point, we were literally living in my 2-door Altima, taking showers at the truck stop, sleeping in the car.
Yeah. I was like,
so how? That's what I wanted to know, because you said once you started shooting, the wheels come off here, and so once that starts, how quickly do you lose your job?
Well, whenever the marriage was finally over, I lost the house, I lost everything. I literally walked away with a pair of shorts, flip flops, and a cut off shirt,
including the job.
No,
you still have the job.
Still have my job.
Okay, while you're living in the Altima.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that doesn't go
for the first little bit. We did, and then my line of work it's different. You don't just stay in one place,
right?
You know what I mean? You jump around, you go here, you go there, unless you do get on with a company on like a maintenance contract.
Right.
But with the work that I do, shutdowns and then turnarounds, we jump from here, there, everywhere.
You can stay here for a couple of weeks and go here for 3 months and just wherever the next job is.
In that time frame with Stanley Carl, I done one little 2-week outage, got a couple $1,000s, spent it all on drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't. Every bit of money that we made went towards
your habit.
Yeah, and but it's after I started shooting and I started getting worse and worse.
And quickly.
I quit I kind of, I guess, in my sense, made a smart move on my part, and I just quit going to those jobs. I said, I already got something lined up. I already got this. I already got that. So
you weren't burning bridges,
exactly.
is what you're saying.
Exactly.
But that wasn't your intention. You just didn't work.
Yeah. And it, I didn't work for it. 2 years?
Yeah, well, we were on our way to Ticonderoga, New York, to go work a shutdown.
I was going to work a job, and now this was after we was at one of our dope friends' house, and this guy that he was like a biker dude. We went and stayed. He just seen us sleeping in our car in a very bad part of Mobile.
Tillman's Corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is whenever all of them were still camping out in the woods and everything like that. Like the noise.
Y'all didn't need to be there.
The noises you hear at night it was just cringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, look, why don't y'all come stay with me? He's like, get y'all out of this car. So we went and stayed at his place. He had like a compound in Dolphin Island. I mean, it was huge. He had literally a 12-foot wall all the way around his place. And as many motorcycles in there as you could ever imagine. He'd buy them.
Little playground.
Tear them apart, build them. Yeah, that's
a clucker's paradise.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And, but I didn't have any tools in. All my tools was at my house. So he actually lended me a box with some tools to go to this job. And we then struck out, and we made it to Knoxville, Tennessee.
First of all, I think we had, $115?
Well, no, we took, we had a little bit more than that because we took her car, got a title loan done on it, and it was like, what?
$2,500.
$2,500, I think. We bought 2 ounces of ice.
Yeah.
And then the rest was going to be to get us up there.
And it would have never gotten us up there with food and gas all the way up there. So I don't know what we was thinking.
Y'all were.
Yeah.
And so we ran out of gas in Knoxville. Well, the cops come up to us and
we was asleep
you can
in
tell
the car
the story.
in a neighborhood. And I was saying the cards had got shut off from going across state lines, for fraud.
Yeah.
So we actually had like $40 left on there. We could at least fill the tank up, got a little bit further, but
you couldn't.
Didn't happen. And we get woke up by Knoxville Sheriff's Department.
After we thought that people were literally following us.
We could have swore people was
the
following
paranoia.
us.
Yes.
Everything like that. It was bad. And he gets us. Amber's acting a lunatic right now. No, you can't get in the car. No, you can't. Cussing them out, hollering, screaming. And Sheriff, I'm just like,
we're going to jail.
It's done.
And that's when I found out I had that theft of property first warrant.
But they finally took her back to another vehicle. Told her to sit back there, and the guy was talking to me one-on-one. He was like, am I going to find anything in this car? And I literally told him, I said, you want to get out a pad and pen, or you just want me to tell you? And he just kind of laughed. He's like, I think I'll take my chances. I was like, all right. By the time they got done, that whole top of that car was completely covered. We had bongs, hoses, a box of 100
Y'all
needles.
are real lucky.
50 used, 50 not. They found an ounce of dope, a bunch of bags, pipes.
All of it,
anything you could think of, it was in there.
Because we traveled. We always had it on us.
Sure.
We
Y'all
lived.
had to. Y'all didn't have a house.
They didn't find 1 ounce. It was in the firewall. But, so if they would have found that, they probably would have just...
Y'all would have been done.
It would have been done. We're having that much on us. But he finally come up to me, and he was like, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. I was like, all right. Talked to him for a little bit, kind of. I was like, how do you want me to tell you that? He was like, start when you was young up till now in about 1 minute.
Interesting.
I was like, all right. Well, I did. And he looked over at me. He's like, this ain't you normally is. I said, no, not really. He's like, well, what about her? I was like, she normally don't act like that either. I said, just ignore her.
She's not usually crazy.
And,
that's what happens when you wake her up.
He's like, look, the good Lord's telling me not to get you right now.
Wow.
What?
Yep. He'd raked everything off and the bag, gave it to his deputy and said, burn it. I'm giving y'all public intox.
Before we go any further, let's take a minute to address the man or the woman listening to today's episode and wishing for a better life. Or maybe addiction has completely overtaken a family member or a friend.
You are not alone. As you may know, the Jesus Loves Addicts podcast is produced by the Home of Grace, a Christ-centered addiction recovery program in South Mississippi with over 60 years of experience.
The Home of Grace has residential programs ranging from 30 days to 12 months. With 2 separate campuses for men and women, they are fully staffed with caring individuals who want nothing more than to guide you to a life of recovery.
Services include individual and group counseling, marriage and family counseling, classes, workshops, GED, and workforce training, all grounded in biblical principles.
And because of donations from the community, the cost of the program is incredibly affordable.
Thousands of alumni from across the country can tell you there is no other program in the world quite like the Home of Grace.
If you want to start a new path to recovery, don't wait. Speak with an admission specialist today. Visit homeofgrace.org or call 833-55-GRACE to talk with someone.
That's 833-55-GRACE. Call the Home of Grace today. Wow.
And then that's when I found out I had the warrant out of Alabama. Yeah. So they took us to jail in Knoxville. I stayed up there for, I think it was a month, and then went to Mobile County, and then to y'all.
To 8 Mile, Home of Grace 8 Mile.
Home of Grace.
You had some emotion telling that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that?
No, it just thankful.
Overwhelmed the grace of God.
Because, I mean, it could have. Yeah. That could have put us away for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You would still be.
Yeah, still be in there. Mm. That's a minimum charge for 25 years plus. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that you have to, I mean, sitting where y'all are now, that you know it's the hand of God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it, whenever I got out the next day, actually, they dropped me off in the middle of Knoxville and just said, all right, finish forward yourself. And I found a YMCA, was able to call Mom, told her don't call Dad, but she did.
And then this time, him and his dad, because he left his family for for me, for an addict. Yeah. He's going to ruin his life.
Absolutely despised her in every which way possible.
They all did. And I mean...
Well, they despised your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You just happened to be attached to it.
You know, even...
Well, while Blake was taking ownership and responsibility, they
still wasn't hearing it.
Well, they blamed you.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's what I even try to tell them. Like, this was going on before her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is not her. But it was, I guess it just added to the fact because it finally put that wedge. You know what I mean?
But you're given this amazing opportunity, this amazing chance. What do you do with it?
Well, we will...
Well, she's in jail.
Yeah. She's in jail still. I get out. I get home. I checked myself into the Mission of Hope a week later.
Okay.
That was one thing I told my dad. If you come up here and get me, I will turn myself into rehab next week. Mm. So we called over there, got it set up, and
my brother was at the Mission of Hope at that time too.
And also one of my very good buddies and one of the guys that's part of me being sober now was there also then too. His name's Cody Tobel. And got there. I didn't last but a month though.
Okay.
It's a 3-month, 90-day course. I lasted 30 days and got kicked out. But, the guy who was my roommate worked the moving truck. So they would go out to people's houses, load all the stuff up, move it wherever, and take it back to the
thrift store.
Well, they stopped by a gas station. He found a 8 ball of dope on the ground. He brought it back with him. Instead of me snitching on him, I went and convinced him to flush it. Like I kind of used it as like a time to kind of minister to him, and actually talked him into flushing it. And he flushed it. I watched him do it. It was over and done. You know what I'm saying? We hooded out. We prayed. We went back to our room. Went to a sleep. Next day, one of the other guys went and told.
And because you didn't tell.
Because I knew and I didn't go to a supervisor, I got kicked out for it. Now, all of the, I guess you can call them, well, they were step-ups, but I guess you call them house dads. All of them who knew of what happened thought that it was wrong that I got kicked out. It was like, he literally just done what we're teaching here. You know what I mean? And now you're going to kick them out of it.
Yeah.
So,
it's
difficult decision.
It is. It's a hard.
And but I can't blame them. That's their policies.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I felt like I'd done the right thing, and I'd do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's part of it. We may still have consequences sometimes for doing the right thing.
But is that like a punch in the gut to you here? I mean, does that trip you up in your efforts, or you maintain?
I stayed sober after that. I went home, and then now at this point, I'm fighting to get her from Tennessee to Mobile.
That took so long.
It took over a month to get her.
Still in jail.
Yeah, and now this all being said, like I said, her lawyer that she had was not doing no legwork at all. And pretty much I went into the courtroom and pretty much said, why isn't she at a court date? Because Metro done not got her there again, and was like, y'all need to get her here now. Seeing that I still got warrants, but I didn't care. And I had to kind of give a testimony to the judge on pleading on her case to get her to
the home of grace.
And well, finally after that little meeting, they got it all set up for her to come to y'all.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done, was walking there with 3
It worked.
But it worked.
But you're maintaining your sobriety after having left there. Okay. And so yours is just about to start.
What year was your mother there? Was she before or after?
She was before, before Star.
Yeah.
Star came.
Yeah.
Star and Kristen was before me.
They were all getting sober at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like
just coincidentally.
The opposite of the domino. It's like Star had relapsed. She had come. She went back.
Yeah.
And then
my mom.
Star helped. No, Wendy helped Star.
But
my mom was fixing to go to prison.
Okay.
And then Star, she got in trouble, and they sent her to the Home of Grace. Well, then when Kristen come to visit Star, Blake's sister, at the Home of Grace, then that's when she was like, I'm going to start going to the Home of Grace. Yeah.
But the timing feels coincidental. It's not like they're preaching to you about sobriety. It seems like all of your lives are kind of falling apart at the same time.
Like a domino effect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, because there is a little piece that I want to get to. So here you guys find yourself, both of you go to faith-based programs. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about that piece. What happens on the faith spectrum here? How do you do you get introduced to Christ? Do you get reintroduced to? What happens there? How does that fuel this recovery? And I know there's a relapse coming, but is there an introduction here to a real live faith for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I was on fire whenever I was at the Home of Grace, and even after.
And when you left.
Yeah, even after. And then us and our thinking that we've been almost a year sober, thinking, oh, well, we can go to Mardi Gras. You know, let's stop by one of our old friends' house. We're just going to do it this one time.
Just get A-bomb. We'll be good.
We're just, nothing after this. Well, then it was that one night. And then we're like, okay, well, we're just going to do it on the weekends. We can do it just on the weekends. And then the weekends never ended.
And y'all y'all are saying that you had an actual walk with recovery.
After she went and got out.
Yeah.
We stayed sober probably for a total of about 15 months, 16 months.
Yeah, so over a year.
I think it was right out of a year.
Oh, was it right out of a year? I thought it was long. Okay, well, right out of a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, we was going to church. We was doing everything. We did cut out people, places, things, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But then, like I said,
until you reintroduced them.
And then, until you chose
to change people, places, and things.
And when you change them, you sever it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard sometimes.
It is hard.
That's usually the first thing.
Because you're like, well,
we were friends.
Yeah, we were friends. They wouldn't bring nothing around me. It's not whether if they're going to bring something around you. Just start thinking about,
what is it going to cost you?
Yeah, doing this, doing that. You know what I mean? It's the old behavior that
because that's been also part of the hardest thing is people that I was such good friends with.
Yes,
I can't have nothing to do with them because it's not that I don't love them or want the best for them, but I can't jeopardize my sobriety. I've done come too far, and I just can't.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But you learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
and it was a cost.
Whenever we fell back off into this time, we fell back off into tenfold.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was bad.
That happened.
And it was quickly.
Yeah.
It was worse.
Yeah.
We literally were being evicted, didn't have a ride, the power was
How
off.
Quickly was all of that?
Well, no, this was over probably
7 months or so.
No, we stayed. It was over that. It was over a year. It was almost a year and a half. We stayed back on drugs again after that. And we started out, I actually, the one time I thought that I may have overdosed was after we started back, probably about a month, started back shooting, and done way too much.
Yeah.
I literally lost all motor function, couldn't talk, blacked out a little bit.
Oh, you did overdose.
You did.
Yeah, was freaking out.
You just didn't die.
Yeah, and it was like later on, I actually talked to a guy who's a doctor. He said, "Yeah, your body was trying to." He was like, "But you was just too hard headed to die, probably."
Better be glad you was too hard headed to die.
Yeah,
and we stayed after that. I didn't. Actually, we worked at the plant. We worked at Gulf with PJ, who I'm actually working with now. One of my old boss men, who's like a daddy to me. His name's PJ Barlow. Who's helped me out tremendously. I mean, we went to work with them whenever we were sober. Stayed there. Mom was working there with us also. And after we fell back off again, which is after the Mardi Gras ball and then one of the shutdowns we worked, and he knew. He could always tell, he could always tell whenever I was getting high. But we was also together every day.
Right.
And me and him started kind of like a little flooring business together and stuff like that. And it just continually got to where either I wasn't coming and helping him whenever
we could no longer keep our commitments
or I was sporadic. You know what I mean? Just
gotta go. Yeah. I'll be right back.
And I was saying that rocked on for about a year and a half, probably.
So does this ultimately bring you to another treatment program?
Nope.
No, we didn't.
So what does that? Yeah, what does that look like?
We were fighting so bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. We were fighting, and we finally came to the conclusion.
Well, one thing that, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but one of them was I found text messages on her phone of her and my best friend. And I went off the deep end.
Yeah.
Like when I say I went off the deep end, I went off the deep end. Because while I was at work, I knew he was over there. Now, I ain't saying that they done anything. I just found text messages, them kind of talking to each other, and it wasn't like it was supposed to be, especially with you being a married woman. And I went smooth off deep. I tore the house apart. And it...
told me to call my mama.
Yeah. Told her to call. Well, she did. She left, and then she ended up coming back. And because that wasn't a big fight. That wasn't. There was a worse one about 2 weeks later.
But that was still the same thing.
But yeah, over the same thing.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't let it go now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially you're on drugs and paranoia and this, that, and this. I mean, it was.
Well, not only does the consequences come back, but if you've already battled with anger, that's going to come right back.
Yeah,
like you opened it wide open.
I was tenfold worse in my anger, the paranoia, the drug use. I mean, everything. You know what I mean? And it about a month after that happened, we got into another huge fight. And then I told her to call her mom, and she come and got her. Man, that was not the best decision I ever told her to do. You know what I mean? Because I went into a downhill spiral again.
Depression.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting though, and I know many people experience this, but it's always such an interesting conflict that you're living such a dysfunctional lifestyle. The drugs and alcohol just completely take you out of a reasonable chance at a functional lifestyle. And yet when something dysfunctional happens to us and we feel victimized by it,
get upset.
We act as if it shouldn't have, right? It's just so we create this chaos. And so I only highlight that because I know it's something that that even listeners right now might be thinking, right? Mm-hmm. They might side with you, right? I could understand that. I get that anger. Yeah, I get that anger too. But the expectation that there would be something functional within a completely dysfunctional lifestyle is an unrealistic expectation, right?
But we
until you kind of stop that madness.
I literally ran projects.
Yeah.
It was general foreman, supervisors, had 20, 30, 40 people working under me. You know what I'm saying? Was excelling tremendously in my line of work, while all at the same time I go to the poor John, do me about a 70-unit shot and come right on back out and keep on going.
Which is almost an unfortunate fortune, right? When you're able to hang on to something, it gives us permission to keep using, right? So, all right. So how do you guys get clean again? Because
Well, after when she left, I think it was the second day, I'm sitting there. Well, no, it was probably about the third day actually. I'm in the dark, no lights, no water. I got 2 of our dogs sitting there with us, and they're missing her, like pulling her hoodie around the house and laying on her pillow and all this, and I'm just like, dude, you gotta stop. You're sending me. You know what I'm saying? I'm depressed right now, and it was probably about, I think I drawed up the last bit we had, and it was a little over a gram, probably about 1.5 grams for you.
Were you trying to die?
Oh yeah, I was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up everything I could, made it as thick
and you knew
as I possibly could. Hit it.
Nothing.
Didn't feel nothing. Yep. Mm. Then not 2 minutes later, my buddy Cody, when I was telling you about, knocks on my door, and I go and I open it. He's like, "Hey man, you want to go see all with me?" I was like, "Why not?" You know what I mean? Just was like, "Sure, just get me out of here."
Go to celebrate recovery.
Yeah, and we went, and I had a full breakdown then. Mm. Well, I started going back with him, and then for 2 more nights, and then one of the thing was that I said in there to Pastor Allen, who has been a very big influential person to us. He, I told him I just want my wife back. That's all I want. And 7 days after that day, she come back. And I didn't think she was coming back. Really, she didn't answer my calls. She didn't text me. She wouldn't do nothing. I tried calling her mom. She'd hang up on me. Tried calling her brother. He talked like, "Yeah, whatever, bye." You know what I mean? It was over and done.
Yeah.
Is what I thought. And at that point in time, I was saying my dad, he didn't care if you come back or not. He's like, "You just need to leave her gone." Mom was kind of like, just whatever happens, happens. If it was meant to be, it'll be, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Probably also secretly hoping she doesn't come back because their only knowledge of you guys is dysfunction, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she comes back, though. Yeah. How does that happen?
Well, she spilled the beans, actually, like 2 days earlier and said she was coming home. She was going to surprise me and just come home. Mm. But in the same day, actually, also that she told me that Randy Stinson, who is a preacher in Repton, Alabama, and also was one of our pipe superintendents, actually got saved in ARC's paper mill office trailer right over there, yeah. And I come to him and I was like, "Man, Randy, I need some help." And I told him what all was going on, And he's like, all right. He's like, let's pray. Mm-hmm. And if you know Randy Stinson, that man can pray. And but I like to say I got saved in the middle of that office trailer.
That's the moment where you really think it came alive for you.
That's what it did for me. Yes.
Amen.
Awesome.
And then 2 days later, well, actually about 4 hours later, she told me she was coming home. And I was, to be honest at it.
Let me pause you there because I'm very curious as to how you got to that decision to come home, because everything seems to be agreeing with you being not there, right? So how do you get there?
So we had talked on the phone, and that's when we came to the conclusion, like, either we can continue to get high and not be together, or we're going to straighten it up and do this. Yep. And
even though after that phone call for another 2 days, she didn't answer none of me. Didn't answer me back at all.
Were you still using?
No.
No, okay.
No, I did not. After I left the house, I did not use.
Okay.
And I was thinking about going, to the Oxford House or sober living and then, slowly go into it. But then I was like, I'm not used to being away from him. Like, we're literally always together at work.
We've been together for 6 years. Been married for 4, and we've literally been together every day from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed.
Unless if I was in jail or rehab.
Like most couples, you know what I mean? The one of them looks forward to going to work to get away from them.
We all work together.
Yeah.
I mean, we
it's a lot of intense time.
Definition of a power couple when it comes to as far as that goes.
To working.
I guess you could say it's a little bit of codependency too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, yeah, maybe, but there's
it's
also
just whatever we've got. It just
a productive fellowship also, right? So I mean, there's
Well, when y'all were together and doing wrong, y'all were doing real bad. But together and doing well, we're doing really well.
So how long have you guys been sober now?
Since October 10th of last year.
Okay.
So a year.
2024.
2024.
Yeah, not this past October, but the October before that.
So October this year.
You had a year in 25.
Yeah.
So you'll have 2 years this year, Blake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's the only math I can do.
There you go. My math wasn't mathing.
Now, in your introduction, Blake, you said something. I don't know if you meant it, but you said it's been an uphill ride ever since. So, and I get that, and I appreciate that. Have we heard what you meant by that, or are there still difficult hurdles? And how is God working in your life now?
In general, I mean, it's, we have come a long way. We've went from homeless, what I'm saying, no family, no nothing, and
everybody was pretty much done.
His dad actually said that he was proud of us the other day.
Wow!
And so it feels so good that. Not that I'm out trying to.
It's not that,
but it's just like he's finally like accepting me.
Yeah,
and it's
because I felt like that was never gonna happen,
but it did.
I didn't, and honestly, I didn't think it was.
His dad's a scary man.
My dad's very set in his ways. You know what I mean? And my dad, to touch on him from back before, he ain't the same man anymore either. He wakes up every morning. He says his prayers. He reads his Bible. Does the same thing. He's on a routine. He's just the typical.
You just got to prove to
story,
him.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
He needed to watch you walk it out.
He did. He's like, I'm not gonna believe you. You got to show me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, that's
which is the right response at that point, right?
I wish that more people, more parents said that.
But now they. For the longest distance, their self. Mom was always there throughout the time. If we needed a light bill paid, she paid a light bill, do all this. She was the one that was kind of keeping us afloat. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But still mad at us for the.
Oh yeah. She
called need to get off that stuff.
She called all the backlash from me. You know what I mean? Yeah. She was like the punching bag. So, but she never slacked up. She definitely has been there with me through all of it, and I've been right there with her through every bit of it too. Yeah.
So how do you guys feel like God is working in your lives now? Like, what's the hurdle set before you at this point?
The kids.
Yeah, the kids. It's hard. I can get we can get all these material things, and that's all fine and dandy, but it's my ultimate goal is for us to get my kids back. It's I haven't like lashed out or done nothing like that because it's not in my time, it's in God's time. I know that's why I just been kind of letting it play out, letting her see that we're doing it.
Because we had to get ourselves together to make sure that we wasn't going to relapse again.
Yeah.
And see, that was whenever I was able to see him the last time, had just started back getting high. And I seen him, and then I went full blown back into it, and I was like, I'm not gonna. So I just kind of fell off the map.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, it's better for me to just get away, and I don't want my kids to be around me like that. And I know, like, she's not gonna look at it like I do. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm 100% good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you don't have to worry about nothing, but.
She's going to have to.
She's going to. And
but I respect also that you said, we needed to be sure that we weren't going to. I don't want to be back. What I hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, is I don't want to be back in their lives if I'm not going to be able to stay. Well, if I can't do this.
We had texted it's been a couple months ago, and was I even told her, I was like, we've been clean for this long, and she's like, well, why haven't you reached out sooner then? I was like, well,
because I needed to be sure.
Sarah, I had to make sure. You know what I mean? I just come out of a
really bad relapse,
a bad place.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be sure, unlike last time, that I'm not going to relapse again before I get my kids back into our lives.
I understand people that's never been or had, parents were in an addiction and you've never been in an addiction. And, I understand that people don't get it. Yeah. Like some people just aren't going to get it.
We all were raised in it.
Yeah. And so I understand, she might not get it. Having to make sure that you're not going to, relapse and get yourself in a good place. I mean, I understand she don't get that, but I'm just praying.
Well, I think that is, you make a great point for anybody early in recovery. I often tell clients this, that the unfortunate truth is that your loved ones will probably trust you way before they should. Right? I mean, the reality is they're going to give you that trust really way before they should.
And you're going to think that you've got it all under control whenever.
And y'all thought that.
Yeah. We thought that.
And y'all learned.
Yeah.
We learned real quick.
So I love that you take that personal responsibility and you're kind of settling into the patience that's needed here. So that's really
none.
Yeah.
Like zip.
Yeah.
Like I was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I'm not going to say if I ever get worked up that I still don't, what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm explosive on it, but it takes a lot to get me there now. Like I've learned to sit back and, hey, let's think about this.
He's got to have patience to be with me.
Well, and I also feel like you're probably pretty strong in the area of saying, hold on, let me think about this.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We definitely think about repercussions.
I'm more of the logical one now.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
That'll be a discussion in the car on the way home.
Well, you just wait. But I want to point out, so we have had the privilege and honor of talking with Kristen, talking with your mom, and now we get to hear your story, and hopefully we'll get to hear your mom.
Yeah, she said that she would like to.
I will reach out to her, your mom and your brother, and all of y'all's endings isn't always what we get to hear from where y'all came from.
And I think the thing that just makes me so happy is, me and my brother, even though we went through that rough time, that was my best friend, you know, growing up. Like, it was always me and him. Yeah. If I didn't like his girlfriends, he'd tell his girlfriends, my sister don't like you can't come over here, and then seeing their relationship.
Oh, that's my buddy right
there. They're like each other's emotional support person, and it just.
That's my buddy.
Usually us three travel together, but he's at a job in Alabama right now.
Yeah. And then as far as me and my and Kristen, seeing her, that was rough. Yeah. Kristen was, in pretty bad shape. Mm-hmm. And it, for a long time, it destroyed mine and her relationship completely. But seeing where she's come, now and what she's been through, because she's
been through it.
Mm-hmm. That girl's had it bad, you know what I mean? Like, from the accident she had and everything, and, her now not letting it get to her, and she's just steadily climbing. I couldn't be more proud of her.
So, guys, let me ask you one more question, because we're going to kind of wrap it up. But you had mentioned going to a Celebrate Recovery. I would imagine, I'm a huge believer that we need community in recovery, right? But that must be hard for you guys, because you're never still long enough, right? Your job kind of moves you around. Yeah. Do you guys make intentional effort to wherever you go to go to meetings and to be surrounded by it? You do. Mm-hmm. How important is that to your recovery?
It's I can't express to you how important having that community is.
Amen.
To hold you accountable, and just whenever you're feeling weak, especially, and I really hate that we're not at home more, because Pastor Allen and his wife, they are amazing.
Whenever I got put in jail for back child support, they was about to make me pay $20,000.
They was calling the judge, trying to figure out what.
He was literally about to go get it out of his savings account, come up and get me out. You know what I mean? He loves mine and Amber's story. Mm-hmm. He loves us, and man, we love them. They've been a big part of everything. And
I think your story also shows the importance of accountability and having those.
And even on job sites, like we try to bring the presence of the Lord. We pray before every shift.
That's great.
And if they don't do it, we try to incorporate it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. It's that to me. Just if you start out the day right or the shift, it's going end right. You know what I mean? So we try to do that.
Well, we are going to land this thing on that up note. That is such a great admonishment for anybody in this, is to seek and be intentional about making connection. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I always find the couple stories so interesting, and just kind of the way they weave together in the dysfunction and the function, right? One thing that you said, Blake, and it may be true for you too, Amber, but that I just wanted to mention to anybody listening, is there was this moment in your recovery where actually you had about a year and a half, I think. Actually, both of you said this. You said one more time. Guys, if you can relate to that, or if you're in recovery and you're arm wrestling this thing and you're thinking one more time, here's the problem with that. You're already thinking about the substance incorrect. You still see it as a reward. You don't see it as a con. Everything your addiction ever gave you was a setup to take twice from you. So if you're thinking in that vein, that concept of just one more is rooted wrongfully in still seeing it as a reward, not a lie. Please think about that. Your reward is when you look up. He's waiting on you.
Yes.
We love you. More importantly, Jesus loves you. We'll see you next time on Jesus Loves Addicts.